Namaste to one and all. Welcome to my channel. Today we are learning more about the decentralization, that is rural, local, self-government. We have learned 1992 amendment, and the rural, local, self-government is applied to the 73rd amendment. 73rd amendment, the Panchayat Raj system is according to the rural local government. So rural local government is also popularly known as Panchayat Raj system. And according to the Panchayat Raj system, how the government, local government is selected, how the local government is formed, that we can learn. So first of all, we have to see what about the Grama Sabha. Grama Sabha is the basic thing about the decentralization. So Grama Sabha means the adult population living in that particular ward or village form Grama Sabha. And this Grama Sabha, all the voters in that particular village, all the voters in that particular village, we call them Grama Sabha. And Grama Sabha, they directly elect the ward members. They will directly elect the ward members. And what is the another duty of the Grama Sabha is that they will supervise the people, ward members. Ward members constitute, each village or group of villages constitute Grama Panchayat. So they will see what this Grama Panchayat, the Grama Panchayat consists of the ward members. And they will supervise the ward members, and they will meet twice or thrice in an year to approve the budget. And approve the budget they will meet, and also they will review the performance of the Grama Panchayat. So Grama Sabha consists of the adult population, and these adult members elect their representatives to the Grama Panchayat. And the Grama Panchayat, maybe each village or group of villages has a Grama Panchayat. And Grama Panchayat consists of the ward members who are elected from the Grama Sabha or who are elected by the adult population of the villages. Then here, so different, each village or group of villages may be having a Grama Panchayat. So that is a basic foundation. And from there, this adult population ward or village Grama Panchayat, they will elect the ward members. Ward members are also known as a Panch. And the main head, that is Sarpanch, that we call them the Panchayat President. And Grama Panchayat, and this is a council consisting of these ward members. So all the Grama Panchayat constitute in a block level. It is called as Grama Panchayat Samadhis. So Grama Panchayats are grouped together in a block level. All the Grama Panchayats are grouped together, and they will form as Panchayat Samadhi or block or mandal. Say at a block level, all the Grama Panchayats grouped together, and they are called, that particular body we call it as Grama Panchayat Samadhi or block or mandal. Then in a district, all the Panchayat Samadhis, different Panchayat Samadhis from different blocks together, we call it as Zilla Parishad. One district level, how many blocks are they? They will come together, and they will elect their members to Zilla Parishad. So all these representatives, I told you, Grama Sabha representatives goes to Grama Panchayat, and different Grama Panchayats at a block level, they are electing the members to the Panchayat Samadhis, and from Panchayat Samadhis, district wise, they will elect and send the people to the Zilla Parishads. And all the Panchayat Samadhis or mandals in district level together, we call it as Zilla Parishad. And this Zilla Parishad, most often these elected members, plus we can see the members of Lok Sabha and MLAs of that particular district. So if it is representing the district A, we have to see who are the members of Lok Sabha, because that is the first tier of the system. that is at the center level, and MLAs, that is second tier of system, that is state, also will be there, and some other officials from some other district levels also come and join there. So members of Lok Sabha, MLAs of the district, some other officials of other elected bodies, other district bodies also will be constituting in the Zilla Parishads. Then, so this is about the Zilla Parishad chairperson is the Zilla Parishad chairperson is the political head of that particular district. So district wise, Zilla Parishad chairperson is the head of that political head of that particular district. Political head. So this rural local self-government is in relation to 73rd amendment. 73rd amendment is applied in the rural self-government, rural local self-government. Now let us see what about the urban local self-government. Urban local self-government is under the provision of 74th amendment. Here the municipalities are formed in towns and municipal corporations in big cities, and head of the municipalities are municipal chairperson, and the municipal corporations, the political head is mayor, and they are controlled by the elected bodies. Elected bodies means the councillors. Here most often we call it councillors and corporators. They are controlling that. That is from towns. The same way how the villages they are electing and sending the people, the same way the representatives are sent from the towns and the big cities, and they are forming municipalities and municipal corporations respectively. And here we can see what about the present. In your textbook, the last page, it is telling about the third tier system, what happened, what about it. It tells that about 36 lakh people are there, representatives are there. Now it is more than that. You know that this textbook is published in 2006. So more than the people are there, and it also tells that the representatives number may be exceeding. What is the present number of representatives may be exceeding the population of some of the countries in the world. And here it has deepened democracy. It has given more provision, increased representation of women. That is one of the important thing we can note about the decentralization. And here what are the limitations, difficulties, demerits of this decentralization? That Grama Sabhas are not held regularly. The elections are most often it is held regularly, but the Grama Sabhas are not held regularly, and most state governments are not significantly transferring their powers to the local governments, and they don't have adequate income, adequate resource they don't have, and we are still a long way. We are still a long way from realizing the local self-government. Children, you listen. Some of the lines are very important. They can quote the line and ask to explain. So this line is telling about the difficulties of the local self-government. So this is the third tier of government. This is a local government. So this is a third tier. This we can say the Panchayat Raj system, and this is the Nagarapalika. 74th amendment we call it as Nagarapalika bill. And this is the 73rd amendment, that is the Panchayat Raj bill, Panchayat Raj system. PRI also we say, that is Panchayat Raj institutions. Yes. So this is a third tier of government, and above that the state. All the districts together constitute a state. And the state is having the head, governor and chief minister. Chief minister is the political head, and all the districts together called state government, and state government is headed by governor and chief minister, and chief minister is the political head of the state. Then here how the government is formed, the MLAs from the entire state is constituting the state legislative assembly. Some of the states have two houses, legislative assembly, legislative council. Then we move to the first tier, that is the central government. Central government, the lawmaking body, we call it as parliament, and parliament is having Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both the houses, and the people who are elected from here to the first tier of government, they are called MPs. So central government MPs, state government MLAs, and municipalities, municipal councillors or the corporators, and here the panchayat ward members. So this is the entire three-tier system of government what we follow. I hope you understood. As you write the points and learn, so it will be more easier for you. So this is the importance. While we draw, you will get more about the concepts. That is the importance of art integrated learning. I hope you understood. Thank you, children. Study well.